Is Ghusl al Mayyit obligatory if there is a risk of spreading the virus to the persons doing the ghusl?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Although there is a lower risk of the virus spreading from the dead to the living, there is very little empirical evidence that this is risk-free. So far, the medical experts are of the opinion that the virus spreads via droplets, small liquid particles. The main risk is that a dead body usually still has air in the lungs as well as secretions that can be released. This, together with the water from ghusl that can involve splashing, may increase the risk of infection. Now, if a real fear exists for the wali, that is the guardian of the mayyit, that he or she or any helping volunteer in the community do not feel it safe to perform ghusl despite using PPE, the personal protective equipment, and infection control, then the next option, that is the only next option, is that tayammum should be performed. However, we urge that if it's allowed in your locality to perform ghusl, that the ghusl and coffin volunteers learn how to handle PPE and correct infection control measures are in place, then the Ghusl al Mayyit be performed before going to other options.
What if the body is placed in a medical bag? Can we do tayammum on top of the body bag?
If there is real fear of infection spreading, or if it's not allowed to perform ghusl in your locality, then tayammum is the option to explore. How does one get this done? One should then try to open the body bag minimally and perform tayammum with only wajib acts, leaving out the mustahab recommended actions. If opening the body bag is a real fear for the wali, the guardian, and the volunteers helping, or opening the body bag is not allowed in your locality, then Sayyid al-Sistani, Hafidhahullah, allows tayammum to be done on top of the medical bag. It is, however, important to be able to distinguish the body features on which tayammum is done, like the head, wrists and hands of the dead body. Otherwise, this too is not obligatory. However, we do urge you all to perform this to your utmost ability. Needless to say, all this should be done with the required PPE in place.
Does one need to perform 3 tayammum on the deceased in place of the 3 types of ghusl water?
No. Only 1 tayammum is wajib, obligatory, to be performed to a dead body. However, the recommended precaution is to perform 3 tayammum. This can be skipped to reduce the risk of spread.
How about other mustahab acts, such as closing the eyes and mouth of the deceased?
If there is fear that these acts may transmit the disease to those carrying out the burial services, then all mustahab acts must be omitted.
What about performing Hanoot on the 7 obligatory areas for a deceased which has been given tayammum instead of ghusl due to the risk of spreading the virus?
If there is real fear of infection risk, it is sufficient to perform Hanoot, applying camphor onto 3 areas: the forehead and 2 palms. Knees and toes are not necessary. If there is still a great fear of transmitting the virus, then performing the Hanoot is not necessary.
What if the authorities say the body must be buried within a coffin?
If the authorities require the body to be placed in a coffin for health safety reasons, then even if the deceased had stated in their will, the wasiyah, that they did not want to be buried in a coffin, then that part of their will must be ignored and they must be buried in a coffin.
Are there any precautions needed to be taken for those handling the body?
Yes, definitely. The individuals handling the bodies during the entire process from ghusl to the dafan and burial must take all necessary precautions to reduce their risk of contracting the virus. For more details on this, my colleague Dr. Muhammad Abbas Jafar will take you through the precautionary steps.